Welcome back class 11th. Today we are going to start topic nationalism, and in this chapter we will be concerned with the ideas of nationalism, and we will discuss how nationalism has evolved over time in the past 200 years and what changes it has led in different nations. So we will discuss about nationalism, but before starting with the topic, let me introduce you what actually is nationalism. So when I say nationalism, so you must be thinking about nationalism means patriotism, showing love for one's country, national flags, sacrificing for the country, and similar things. But national love, nationalism is different and it is more क्या कहते हैं broader term. It is a more broader concept than all these things. All these fall under the category of nationalism, but they don't encompass nationalism in its entirety. So in this chapter we will discuss how nationalism is widely accepted, what is the definition of nationalism, how it plays an important role in the world affairs. So I told you that nationalism in the last 2 centuries has emerged as one of the most compelling of the political creeds which has helped to shape history. That means nationalism emerged as one of the most important concept in the past 200 years, which helped nations form their own identity coming out from the shadows of imperialism. So in past 200 years you have read about different nations getting independence from their imperialist colonial powers, like India, in African continent. Everywhere you will see countries getting out of the shadows of imperialist power. So nationalism played an important role in doing this, as nationalism united people as well as divided them. It united in the sense that people from a particular region united themselves by saying we belong to a completely different nations from the colonial powers who are ruling, and divided them from those imperialist powers and helped them to liberate from the oppressive rule as well. And this created a sense of conflict between the natives, natives, that means people of a particular region, versus imperialist power. So in a way you will see nationalism created a sense of division and also generated a sense of nationality, a sense of unity in people's mind by bringing them together. So it has passed through many phases, as you all know. For example, if we discuss about 19th century Europe, so it led to the unification of Germany and Italy, which you have read in chapter first of history in class 10th NCERT. In that chapter you must have read how nationalism led to the unification of Italy and unification of Germany from different empires, how all were brought together and formed a national identity of Italy and Germany. So nationalism in a way led to the consolidation of different nation states into larger nation states, different kingdoms into larger nation states. Smaller kingdoms were brought together by a feeling of nationalism, and all were united by feeling of nationalism again to form the larger nation states which we see today. It also led to the disintegration of colonial powers. How? It led to the consolidation of states in Europe, but it led to the disintegration of states in African continent, Asian continent, because the colonial powers were overthrown by the natives with the idea that they do not belong to this country and we should have a feeling of nationalism, unity with our brothers who live in this country. For example, if we take India, so nationalism played an important role. By nationalism, many of our leaders, freedom fighters, they motivated people that we belong to a greater civilization which was earlier advanced enough to overtake trade and technology in other parts of the world. But after the British have arrived, we have become such lowly citizens that we don't even have respect. They don't give us respect, they don't treat us with equality. So we need to come together and unite, and we need to shun this feeling of difference in religion, difference in caste, and we all need to imbibe one quality of nationalism. So that's how you can see nationalism brought people together. It was just an example so that you can understand what nationalism actually did in Indian context. Then you can see in the Europe, Austrian, Hungarian, and Russian empires were disintegrated into different empires because nationalism led to the feeling of nation states getting their different identity from the larger perspective. For example, if you see Russian Empire, you know, if you see Russian Empire, it was a larger empire, it had many states. So all those states thought about कि we are different from these people culturally, in language, in a sense of eating habits, and all those sense they created a distinctive identity for all those people. So these people thought, why not make our own separate nation? So it also led to the breaking of the empires like Austro-Hungarian and Russian empires in 20th century Europe. Then here we can see it is talking about colonies of Asia and Africa, how British colonies, French colonies, Dutch colonies, all these colonies grew apart from the imperialist powers and they presented their own identity, which was based on the nationalism. Now, after we have discussed that nation states formed, they were free from the foreign control, but after the formation of nation states, you can still see local powers, local faction or local factions, you can say, local factions demanding separate nation statehood. They have been demanding separate nation statehood for their own particular region. From the see, these are the separatist tendencies which people desire because they wanted to make a different region of their own so that they can grab power, they can grab wealth from the remaining region. They do not have any nationalist tendencies, they just want to be separated from the other mainland because they think they are different. For example, you can see Quebec in Canada, Basques in northern Spain, Kurds in Turkey, and Iraq and Tamils in Sri Lanka. Because they wanted to be separated, they feel we are different from the people who are living in the mainland, who are in majority there. So they want such separatist so they want such separate nation states for themselves so they can enhance, they can further their parochial views. Now coming to this, after understanding all these things, for example, all these examples, now we will come to questions like why people form nations, what do nations aspire. That means ki if we are going to discuss why people not want nation for form nations, so we will also see why such separatist tendencies are on the rise in any country, because we see they say they are motivated by nationalism, but it is not so. So we will also discuss these topics. Then we will see why are people ready to sacrifice and even die for their nation. You see people in the army, people, normal citizens also, they are willing to die for their country. So why is it so? Why people do that? Do nations have a right to statehood or national self-determination, or can the claims of nationalism be met without conceding separate statehood? So we can discuss all these things in this chapter. Now starting with the topic, it will be nations and nationalism. So first of all, we need to define what is a nation. So you see, nation is not a casual collection of people. That means it is not just a random group of people that we can say these people form nation. We collect 1,000, 10,000 people and we say these people are part of the nation. At the same time, it is different from the other groups or communities found in human society. That is different communities and groups. For example, families, friends, family, because you have direct personal relationship with them, you have a blood relation with them. You know your friends because you have formed a social relationship with them. And nation also is different from tribes and clans and other kingship groups. Why? Because in a tribe a particular group of people follow a particular culture. In clans similar things happen. So in all these groups you see people are bound by one thing or the other, and they know themselves and the other people that they share some kind of quality. For example, in a clan, in a tribe, people might be sharing a similar god, similar culture, similar region, similar living space. All these things they share. But when we discuss about nation, we know if people from Lucknow and if people from UP are citizens of India, then so are the people from Karnataka, so are the people from Maharashtra, so are the people from the northeast part of India, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, and in our lifetime we may not be able to see or meet all these people face to face or even have conversation with them. Why? Because we don't share similar region. So nation is a much larger, much broader concept, because we share ideas with people, we share a feeling of national unity with people whom we have never met. है ना? We might have never met people from Bangalore in our whole life, but still they also share a feeling of nationalism towards India, and same is the case with us. So how can we define nations? So we can say nations are constituted by a group who share certain features such as descent, language, religion, or ethnicity. That means people of a nation might have a common descent. They might have a common group of ancestors, language, है ना, group of languages, Sanskrit in the past, Hindi in northern India, different languages in the southern part of India, English as a common language. Then religion, Hinduism, Sikhism, Islam, and all these things, and ethnicity, that people belonging to a particular group of states and regions. So you see all these people, that means citizens, all these people, that is citizens, they might never come face to face, but they might never meet each other, but they might share certain features such as they might have a common descent, common language, religion, ethnicity, or all of them. So any of the following factors can be termed as a important characteristic feature which forms a part of united by nationalist tendencies. But there are differences also. You can see there are no common set of characteristics which is present in all nations. That means even if you discuss about India, let's talk about India, our nation. So we know India is a multi-religious, multilingual state. We have different kind of languages in northern part of India, southern part of India, in the northeastern part of India, and the northwestern part of India. We have multiple languages, we have different types of cultures, we have different types of religion. All these are things in present, yet we don't have a common language which is spoken all over the India. You know? English is spoken in some part of northern India, some part of southern India, and some people might not even speak English. They are speaking only Hindi or their particular local language, है ना. इस तरीके की चीज़ें और everything is present. Still we are a nation. We do not have a common religion. India is a multi-religion language, multi-religious not language, multi-religious country. We have Islam, we have Buddhism, we have Hinduism, we have Christianity, है ना. All these religions we have. Still different people come together to form nation, that is India. So one of the examples here it is given. In Canada, you see people speak French as well as English. So you can see Canada is still a nation, because even though people are speaking English and French, both are different languages with different contexts. Na? Some people like speaking French, some people like speaking English. Still they form a complete nation. So what in actual what is the actual characteristic of a nation that we can say is present in every country? So we can define this particular feature is present in every part of the country, every country in the world. So we can say this is the defining feature of nationalism. So we will discuss all these things. So now coming to the actual topic, what then constitutes a nation? This has been the question of this chapter. So a nation is a great extent an imagined community. That means we cannot see nation physically, we cannot touch nation, we cannot see nation, but we know it is an imagined community. We know it exists, held together by collective beliefs. That means nation has first and the foremost thing of collective belief, then aspirations of citizens and imagination of its members. It is based on certain assumptions which people make about the collective whole which they identify with. That means कि people come together, they share a common belief, they share common aspirations, they have some imagination for their country, and they all share these qualities and they come together to form nation. So now, first is shared belief. What do you understand by shared belief? Shared belief means when you and I, people belonging to different region, different part of the city, different part of the country, still share a common belief of nation. Example, example. For example, you see Indian cricket team. Indian cricket team has various players from different part of the country, from different religions, है ना? Yet they all come together and work as a team. So a nation is also a kind of team which in where citizens come together and they form a collective identity and they share a common belief that we all belong to this country, that is India. We share a common belief. We have a belief system that India is our country, India is our motherland, which you and I share. People from the different students might be listening from the other part of the nation, so they can say ki yes, sir and I belong to belong to India because we share a common belief that we are the citizens of India. So we have a shared belief of being a citizen of India. So a nation exists when members believe that they belong together. Only when they think we belong together, only when they think that we belong together, then only it will form a nation. Just like a team. If a cricket team or a football team or a basketball team, members of the team do not agree with each other that they belong to this particular team, है ना? They are representing this team. For example, take IPL, है ना? Most of you must have watched IPL. So in IPL, you can see there. You can take any team like Kolkata Knight Riders. So it has players from India, it has players from Afghanistan, it has players from South Africa and different nations. So all those people from different countries of the world, they come together, they feel that they are part of this team known as KKR, Kolkata Knight Riders, and they work together. In a similar fashion, citizens of nation, they all come together, they share a sense of belief that different people, even though they have difference in religion, language, region, है ना, social status, caste, color, anything, but still they all share one common belief that we are citizen of India. So shared belief is one of the important and foremost factors. So here it is given example. You can see this example. Ki why don't you cheer for our team? Why don't you have any nationalist spirit? This person is asking this woman. So you can say, she's saying, I am as much a nationalist as anyone else because I cast my vote, I pay my taxes, I respect the laws of our country, and I'm also proud to belong to this country. So you can see ki even though if you don't watch cricket, that doesn't make you anti-nationalist. That means ki you are playing your part in different way. है ना? Just for example, in a movie, you can see actor has a different, lead actor has a different part, protagonist, है ना? Antagonist has a different part, lead actress has a different part. So they all are playing their part, and when all these things come together, they form a movie in a similar fashion way. Sorry, in a similar way, you can see when people pay their taxes, they follow the laws, they obey the laws of the nation, they respect each other. They form sense of unity, sense of brotherhood with other citizens of India. So that is also nationalism, not just cheering for the country, not just क्या कहते हैं, hoisting national flag. If you are not hoisting a national flag, that does not make you an anti-nationalist, because hoisting a national flag is just another way of showing your nationalism. That is also good. And if you are following laws of the country, and if you are shared a sense of unity and brotherhood with other people of the nation, then it also forms part of nationalism. So in a similar way, she is paying taxes, then she is also nationalist because she is contributing towards the development of a nation by paying her taxes, which then can be reused by government for infrastructure development, providing food to needy people and so on. Now, history. The second point is history. The people who see themselves as a nation also share a common history. That means एक उनके पास, they should have a continuing historical identity, which means they have a history which goes long back in time. For example, if a person from Australia or any other nation comes and resides in India for 5 years, okay, then he becomes a citizen of India. He is also trying to be a nationalist, but he is also trying to be he's also trying to form a part of nation. He also wants to become a citizen or citizen of India. So you can say ki he will become citizen of India by other methods. But when we say as a nation, has he shared any common history? So you can say no, because common history brings you together. He will be citizen of India legally and lawfully, but he might not have shared that history which our forefathers have shared. For example, if we talk about nationalism during British period, during colonial period, so our forefathers and freedom fighters, they all shared a common sense of belief that we want to overthrow, oust these British people from our country. So they had a common belief, and they were all ruled by British. So we all know it is part of our common historical culture. In a similar way, if we talk about Mauryan Empire, ancient time period, if we talk about Cholas, if we talk about Pallavas, all these kingdoms and his shared historical beliefs bring us together as a nation, because we all know कि at some point of time these things existed in the past, and they are our treasure trove of history. They are our treasure trove of history because we share them, we believe in them, so we have a common belief of historical identity. So people who see themselves as a nation also embody a sense of continuing historical identity. That is, nations perceive themselves as stretching back into the past as well as reaching into the future. So you share memories, legends, historical records, or outlining the continuing identity of the nation. So all these things, make people believe that we all are one. We all are citizens of India, because first we have shared belief that we all are citizens of India, we belong together, and second is historical continuity या फिर historical relation with each other. We have historical relation with each other in a sense that we all belong to the great nation of India, है ना, इस तरीके की चीज़ें. So on the similar lines, we can say our past freedom fighters, freedom fighters in the past, है ना, scientists in the past, we share their belief, we share them. So this forms a nation. This forms a characteristic feature of forming a nation. For example, Jawaharlal Nehru wrote, for instance, in his book Discovery of India, though outwardly there was diversity and infinite variety among the people, everywhere there was that tremendous impress of oneness which held all of us together in ages past, and whatever political fate or misfortune had befallen us. That means, so in this line, what Jawaharlal Nehru is trying to say, कि we belong to a nation where we see diversity and infinite variety among the people. We have people from different religion, different language, different clan, different tribes, yet we all see a quality of oneness which has held together from the ancient times. We all belong to different religion, we all belong to different linguistic region, but still we have shared a common belief from the past which has held together and bound us together as a nation. Then we come to territory. Now coming to the third topic, that is territory. How territory plays an important role when identifying with nation. So third, nations identify with a particular territory. Obviously, if we have a particular territory, we have a defined territory, then only say we can say we are part of India. That means if we know we are in Jammu and Kashmir, we are part of India. If we know we are in Kanyakumari, we are in part of India. If we know we are in Arunachal Pradesh, we are part of India. And if we say we are in Rajasthan, Gujarat, we are in India. But you cannot say this in any other country. That means you cannot go to Thailand and say we are part of India, because it does not form a territory. It does not form territory of India. So nations identify with a particular territory. That means they have a defined boundary within which their citizens live, because it gives them a sense of collective identity. For example, if you live in a society named Gokul Dham Society, let's talk about Gokul Dham Society. So people form the bond people formed bond over Gokul Dham society because they have been living there for the past 10 years, 20 years. So they have sense of collective identity as a Gokul Dham society resident. So in a nation also, living together in a particular territory over a long period of time gives people a sense of their collective identity. Another example, that you and I, we are and our forefathers have lived in this country for generations after generations. So we form a collective identity as a part of India, that our forefathers and their forefathers have lived in this place for generations. So we know we are in a defined territory of India and we formed the collective identity. And that is why we say India is our homeland, motherland. It is a way of saying that it is our homeland. That homeland means ये हमारा घर है, that is our home. If we go to some other country for studying, for business purposes, for job, anything at all, you say, people will ask you where are you from. So you will say कि India is my country, it is my homeland. And you will say in a manner that you will represent it is your home. Like people will ask you from which city you are. So somebody will ask me from which city do you come from. I will say I come from Lucknow because Lucknow is my home. In a similar way, when a country has a defined territory, people have been living in the past and in the present, and they will continue to live in future. So it forms a part of their identity as a motherland or homeland. So nations consider themselves, nations characterize their countries as homeland, motherland, fatherland or holy land. They have a different way of saying this, but in a sense it all means one thing, that it belongs to you, it because you have been living in a defined territory from the past 100, 200,000 years. So here example of Jewish people is given, that Jewish people, for instance, in spite of being dispersed and scattered in different parts of the world, always claim that their original homeland was in Palestine, the promised land. So you can see that different people may have different sense of homeland. For example, this part of land is considered homeland by A group, also by B group, and also by C group. So all these people will be in conflict with each other because they all consider this as their original homeland, as you can see in the case of Jewish and Palestinian struggle. So you can also see the Indian nation identifies with the rivers, mountains and regions of the Indian subcontinent. So when somebody will ask you, okay, how can you define India? So you'll say it is surrounded by the Himalayas in the north, Indian Ocean in the southern part, and the eastern part, and in western part you have Arabian Sea, in eastern part you have Bay of Bengal. All these things you identify that make a territorial boundary of India. So all these things you see form part of the nation. In a similar way, you can also see, since more than one set of people may have claim to the same territory, the aspiration for a homeland has been a major cause of the conflict in the world. That means more than one group of people can claim that this is our part of the country, and this leads to conflict. For example, the best example is our Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu Kashmir belongs to India, but as you know, the mischievous Pakistan, what it does, it claims that Jammu Kashmir belongs to Pakistan. So this is a reason of conflict, because they consider the territory which is not theirs, which does not form part of Pakistan, still they consider it as part of Pakistan. So this leads to conflict and different situations which are violent in a similar fashion. So you can see conflicts arising in Russia and Ukraine as well. You can see part of Ukraine in Kiev, they say it belongs to Russia. Sorry, Kiev is the capital of Ukraine, Crimea. So you can see Crimea is claimed by Russia as part of Russian Empire, and Ukraine says no, it is part of Ukraine. So these kind of things, these kind of territorial claim leads to conflict. So all these things are result of aspirations of different group of people. The different group of people have different aspirations. Some people will say this belongs to us, some other people will say no, this belongs to us, and this will lead to major conflict between the nations and citizens of that particular of those particular countries, if there are two countries are involved, if there are multiple countries involved, in a similar way. So you can see we have shared belief, we have a common history, and we have a defined territory. So these three things form part of the nation. So these three things identify how a nation is defined by their particular citizens or residents. Now in second part we will discuss further with the shared political ideas and common political identity. So thank you class, have a wonderful day. I hope I have helped you a lot by giving this lecture in English, because some of you have asked, sir please provide lecture in English. So I tried giving my best. In a similar way I try giving my best in Hindi as well. So it will be a good opportunity for me to explain it to you in English as well. So thank you class, have a wonderful day. Please do comment if you like the class, and for any further improvement in my class please comment, so that I can improve upon my videos and my explanation as well. Thank you, have a nice day. If you like it, please do comment. Thank you.